The first question is given to us by Lebogang Solo. Lebogang, thank you for this question. I think it's a beautiful question. Let's see what it wants us to do. It says, if the sine of P plus the sine of Q is 7/5 and P plus Q. So here they talk about the ratio and here they talk about the angles. So here the sum of the two angles are 90. And here they tell us the sine of the first plus the sine of the second is 7/2. Now, folks, look what they want. They want the value of the sine of 2p. Okay, so what are we going to do? We need to find ourselves a way of getting rid of q. It's the only way, because the question only has a p in it. So the q should not be there. And I think that is why they told us that these two comes out of a right-angled triangle. Their sum together is 90. So from that we can say that angle q is nothing other than 90 degrees minus p. Now if we take that deduction that we made here and we put it into this expression they gave us, then we get the sine of p plus the sine of q. Now q in this case will be 90 degrees minus p is equal to 7/5. And yeah, it seems that we're not going to get rid of the cosine that quickly. So let's see what happens here. We have the sine of p. Now we say to ourselves, here we are in the second quadrant where sine is positive. Sine, because of this 90, becomes the cosine of p. Okay? Now with that ready, let me just move it down a little bit. The cosine of p there, we have this now equal to 7/5. Okay, problem. We do not need the cosine. We want the sine of twice p. So let's go back to the information they gave us. The sine of 2p, folks, we all know, and this is why, matriculants, you have to know your rules off by heart. Don't rely on your formula sheet, else you won't recognize what to do in the problem. So the sine of 2p is 2 sine p cosine p. And I've got the sine of p, but it's added to the cosine of p. So I'm going to pull a convenient trick. I know that sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, let me take the left-hand side and the right-hand side and let us square it. Let's see what we get. We get sine squared p plus 2 sine p cos p. And that is what we wanted. Why is it like this? Remember, a plus b is a squared plus the b squared plus the little term in the middle, twice a times b. And that's where this comes from. Plus cosine squared p is now the square of that, which anybody can do without a calculator. It's 49/25. Okay, so all that's left for us now is to get the 2 sine p cos p by itself. This stays on the left-hand side. That is the sine of 2p. This one, sine squared plus cos squared, we know is 1 on this side. We take it over, becomes a -1. And that -1 becomes minus 25/25. Okay, because we're adding or subtracting two fractions. So if we throw the 1 over, we have 49 minus 25, and that is 24/25. And that there is the value of sine 2p. Beautiful question, folks. You couldn't get out of this unless you more or less had a feeling an algebraic feeling of what you can do with sine and with cosine to create the 2 sine p cos p that you want to create in the middle.